This one says, "Hi Helen, thank you for sharing truth with such love. I'm in awe by everyone's courage. Me too. The things everyone asks are so brave. I would not have had the courage when I was seeking. So, for years, I've experienced severe headaches, jaw, mouth, and face pain. In the past year, 2 accidents badly bruised each cheek. It's felt so strange and symbolic. And the mind is fascinated by the symbols, keeping the patterns moving in loops. Maybe someday I'll stop silencing myself. I'll take off the mask. I'll let myself be seen and heard. I'll surrender fully to the pain. Or I'll have enough resources to find a treatment. Someday I'll figure this out and get my life together. I'll be enough. But I see these are all things a separate self can't ever do. That's massive, isn't it? Really, that you can see that. When the pain returned this morning, part of me wanted to panic. Instead, I wrote this. It became its own contemplation. What is this pain really showing me? If this doesn't change, can I be okay? Is it true I'm not okay? Is it true I'm not already myself, capital S? Is it true I'm not doing enough, or that I'm not enough? Is it up to me to figure this out? I love that last one. Well, I love them all, but that last one especially gives me goosebumps. Funny how none of the questions care about symbols or why the pain is in my face. And this feels much more empowered than panic and loops. But since this type of inquiry is new, I welcome your insights with love and gratitude. So it's very exciting. And it's not that this inquiry, these new questions that are coming, this contemplative inquiry, it's not that we're disregarding the body or saying, I'm not this body and it doesn't matter what happens to it. It's not that we're doing that. We're just going with the inquiry to a deeper root of this. We've been trying to fix this by trying to change the imaginary separate being that we thought we were. And you've said quite clearly here that's maybe one day I'll be confident and brave and, not care what anyone else thinks. Maybe I'll be able to show myself. And those things are just kind of inherently impossible, aren't they, for a separate being? Because a separate being is craving approval, love, respect, acceptance, safety, from the assumptions that it has that it's not loved and accepted and safe. And our experiences keep repeating that on these loops, as you've said. So when someone has this kind of spontaneous questioning arise, that's really exciting from my perspective, because it's questioning the core assumptions in the first place. Is it true I'm not okay? I'm not enough. Is that actually true? Before I go off on an endless pursuit of trying to do this self-improvement thing, too many body-mind vehicles when they're coming and going, let me check first if I'm actually starting from where I think I'm starting from. Inadequate, not good enough, all of those things. Is it true I have to figure this out? That's another one, isn't it? Any spiritual thing that seems to arise, our separate sense of someone immediately goes into action. Okay, I'm going to figure this out. Got to find a way to deal with it. What if your job, though, was just to be aware of it, to watch it, to notice it, to deeply embrace what was coming up, even if you didn't like it? And that's exactly what you're doing here with this kind of inquiry, this kind of question. It's powerful. You said, and you can feel your body's telling you this feels lighter than this kind of figure it out, got to fix it, got to fix me. There's some room there, isn't there, in these questions to allow something to unfold, because all we ever have to do is find the assumption that's being experienced, the belief, the thought. And here's a fundamental shift here where I stop trying to fix who I think I am. And I begin to question if that's even true in the first place. For many, many years, we're fixated on trying to fix and improve our so-called character flaws. But if we're not who we think we are, how reliable is the information we're getting about these character flaws, and do they actually need fixing? Do they even exist in the first place? Am I really inadequate, unsafe, not good enough? And it's not to say, of course, you might want to develop more compassion or understanding or wisdom or kindness. You might want to allow that to come from the inside out more of the qualities that perhaps we would have on our wanted rather than our not wanted. But figuring it out and trying to fix something that isn't broken and could never be broken, that only seems broken when we look through thoughts, it's never going to do it, is it? As you said here, it's exciting. I have to say, you're right on track here. I'm very, very excited by this, and I would love to hear what comes out of this. And people, and I know it's natural, people, they find this question that resonates and they have this breakthrough, and then this thing's forgotten. It's gone from their consciousness, and I never hear what happens. But if you remember, and if you want to, I would love for you to write back in and say, this is what came out of these questions. Not just for me, but for everyone, because these are highly intelligent questions. These are coming from the self, aren't they? From the universal, undivided one being. What is this pain really? What is this pain really showing me? And then my sense of my sense of adequacy, completeness, wholeness, perfection, and unfolding as ever greater perfection. Paradox, I know, but then that reflects down through my mind and my emotions, and then into my physical form, where if we look at with the body, Louise Hay's work was very, very helpful for me. Not so much the affirmation side, although I have done those many times. But as I got closer to the truth of my being, they became less and less effective because they felt like they were lying. And of course, her work is beautiful and has helped so many beings. But it's useful. It was useful to me to get to the core belief that the body, the pain, was trying to show me. And I just happen to know, because it's something I've looked at myself. You can Google it, of course, that the face, issues with the face, represent who we, what we show of ourselves to the world, the face that we put on to other beings, whether we wear a mask or not, metaphorically, of course. So, that's right on cue here, isn't it? Of course, I'm going to want to hide if I don't feel good enough. And of course, going to want to hide until I try to fix myself and manage to do that, but I never quite can, because there's never really anything wrong in the first place. Endless loop, so much suffering. And finally, we come to this. Well, let me question those assumptions in the first place. So yeah, right on track there. Definitely.